I hope you're well and you've all had a great week so far, wherever you are in the world. So let's get started because today we're going to be talking about SEO. Most of what you hear about SEO is either way too complicated or just flat out wrong. And gurus are promising the earth. They're promising their clients #1 spot in Google in 90 days, and it's nonsense. But here's what's actually true. SEO is the single most powerful way to generate leads without spending a penny on ads, and you can do it yourself. So today I'm going to break down 3 simple pillars that actually work. And stick around to the end because I'm going to give you the one nugget that most people aren't doing that will really make a difference. By the end, you're going to have a clear action plan which you can pretty much implement immediately. So the first pillar I'm going to talk about is technical SEO, and this is the engine room behind the website. So your website needs to work properly. If Google's robots can't read it, nothing else you do will matter. So things like site speed, where if your website is taking longer than 3 seconds to load, your visitors are already gone and they're away to a competitor, and Google knows this. So go to Google's Page Speed Insights tool. It's free, which makes it even better, and type in your website and you'll get a score. And usually the problem is massive image files. So use tiny PNG to compress them and then re-upload them onto your website, and in 10 minutes that job is done. Here's a nugget though that most people miss. Google also looks at something called Core Web Vitals. It's basically how fast your page feels to a real person, not just how fast it loads, but how fast it responds when someone clicks a button or scrolls. If your site feels sluggish, Google penalizes you. So check your Core Web Vitals score in Page Speed Insights, and if it's in the red, you've got a problem you need to fix. Mobile friendliness. So more than half of web traffic is mobile. If your site looks a mess on the phone, you're invisible to Google. So take a look now, view your own website on your phone. Can you read it? Can you click on the buttons? Or are you having to zoom in and out to read it clearly? And be honest with yourself because there may be quite a bit of work to do there. But here's another tip. Google has something called mobile first indexing. And this means that Google crawls your mobile version first, but not your desktop version. So if your mobile site is broken, Google doesn't even see your desktop site properly. So make sure your mobile experience is flawless. Clean URLs, and this is really important. So yourcompany.co.uk/services/lead generation is a perfect URL. Yourcompany.co.uk ?P equals 123 ampersand equals 4 is garbage. Make sure you use hyphens to separate your words in your URLs, make it readable, and make sure you've got keywords. The next thing's your SSL certificate. This is the little padlock next to your web address, and if your website doesn't have it, Google marks you as not being secure, and this is a ranking factor. If you're on WordPress or Squarespace, it's usually automatic, but check, make sure you see that padlock. So to wrap up, that's the engine room. So you need to focus on speed, mobile, clean URLs, and a secure website. Pillar 2. On-page SEO is your signage on your website, and this is where you tell Google what each page is actually all about. And I'm going to show you how to do keyword research in a simple way, and it's really important that you don't overthink this. So type a phrase into Google that your customers would use, and then look at the people also ask box. That's Google telling you the exact questions people are asking, and it's great information. Then look at the related searches at the bottom of Google. Brilliant information, because your job is not just to be found for broad terms like marketing, because you'll never compete. Your job is to rank for specific long tail questions, not for marketing or manufacturing or technology, but things like, how do I create a marketing plan for a new law firm? That person has a real problem and they're a much better lead for your business. So spend 30 minutes, come up with 10 to 15 long tail questions related to your services. And here's a nugget. Use Google's autocomplete feature. Start typing your keyword into Google and watch what appears. Those are the actual searches people are doing. Make sure you screenshot them or save them off, Those are your content ideas for the next 3 months. Now, how to optimize a page. So the key here is focus. One page on one topic and one keyword phrase. So the title tag on your page, this is the most important signal. It's the blue link in Google search results. Normally has around 60 characters, includes a keyword, but you need to make it compelling. So for my business, it could be lead generation services for UK SMEs instead of just services. The meta description, the snippet under the title tag, which it doesn't rank for you, but it still gets clicks, and you need to write it for the user. So tired of wasting money on leads that don't convert? Our proven system helps UK SMEs generate qualified leads. Find out now. So here's a nugget most people don't know. Your meta description should include a call to action. Learn more, get started, book a call. People are more likely to click if you tell them what to do. So in terms of your headings, there should only be one main headline, H1 tag per page. It must include your keyword or keyword phrase. For subheadings, you've got H2, H3. Break up your content, use variations of your keyword because it's much easier for humans to read and for Google to understand. Your image alt tag instead of img_1234.jpg. Name it painter-decorating-kitchen.jpg and add alt text like professional painter decorating a kitchen in Manchester because Google reads this. Internal linking. So this is a massive tip that most SMEs completely ignore. Link from one page on your website to another. If you have a blog post about how to qualify leads, link it from your homepage. Link from your services page to relevant blog posts. This tells Google which pages are important and helps users navigate your site. Most SMEs don't do this at all, and it's free and it works. It really works. The location angle. So this one is really important. Here's something most SMEs miss completely. If you're a local business, a painter, a plumber, or an accountant, whatever you're in, whatever career you're in, location is everything. When someone searches painter near me, accountant near me, plumber near me in Manchester, Google doesn't just look at your website, it looks at your Google business profile, and this is free. If you don't have one, you're leaving money on the table. Go to Google Business Profile, claim your business, fill in every single field, an address, phone number, opening hours, add photos, your services, be really detailed. Now here's the nugget most people don't know. Google looks at something called NAP consistency, name, address, phone number. If your Google business profile says one thing and your website says something slightly different, Google gets confused. It thinks they're different addresses. So make sure your NAP is identical everywhere. Your website, your Google, your business profile, your local directories, everywhere. When you do this right, you'll start showing up in the local map pack. That's the three businesses that show up at the top of Google when someone searches painter near me. That's where the leads are. I've seen local businesses go from invisible to booking jobs just by getting their Google business profile right and making sure their NAP is consistent. Another location nugget is add your address to your website footer. Just put it there. It seems really simple, but Google uses this to verify you're a real local business. It's a trust signal. So the keyword example that works. Let's say you're a painter in Manchester. You're not going to rank for painter. It's too broad with too much competition. However, if you could absolutely rank for interior painter Manchester or professional house painter in Stockport, even better. How much does interior painting cost in Manchester? That's someone actively looking and ready to get quotes. Your page title could be Interior Painting Services in Manchester, Professional House Painter. Your H1 could be Professional Interior Painting in Manchester, free quote. Your meta description could be Need an interior painter in Manchester. We've painted over 500 homes. Get a free quote today. And that's it. That's how you do it. And then pillar 3, content and reputation, the word on the street. You've got the engine running and the signage is clear. Now you need to build trust, and here content is king. Remember those 10 to 15 long tail questions you found? Each one is a potential blog post or a video. If someone is searching how to qualify leads in 5 minutes and you have an article titled exactly that, who do you think Google shows? You don't need to be a literary genius, just be helpful, write like you're explaining it to a client, use examples, keep it practical. And here's another tip. Update old content. Don't just write new blog posts. Find your best performing blog posts from a year ago, update them, add new information, update the date, and Google loves fresh content, so you don't have to start from scratch every single time. Backlinks are the realistic way. So a backlink is a link from another website to yours. Google sees it as a vote of confidence. The old way, buying links, spamming, doesn't work anymore. The realistic way for an SME is using local directories, industry associations, being a guest on a podcast, answering questions on Quora or Reddit. Here's another tip. Broken link building. Find a competitor's page that ranks really well. Check what sites link to it. Reach out. Explain you have a newer, better resource. Ask if they'd consider linking to yours. It works. It may seem a little bit off, but it really works. And most people don't even do it. Don't obsess over hundreds of links. Focus on a handful of good quality, relevant ones. And the local reputation angle. For local businesses, reviews are gold. Google loves reviews. They're a ranking factor. Get reviews on your Google business profile. Ask happy customers to leave one. It's that simple. When you have 20 reviews with an average of 4.5 stars, you rank higher than someone with 2 reviews. It's that straightforward. And here's another little tip. Respond to every review, even the bad ones, especially the bad ones. It shows potential customers that you care. Google also sees this as engagement and ranks you even higher. To finalize your action summary, and here's the 3 things that you need to do after this podcast. And number 1 is check your website speed. If it's slow, fix the obvious issues, and it's typically images that are far too big. Number 2, pick one important page, and that would be your main service page or your home page, and make the title clear and make the description really compelling. And number 3, if you're local, sort your Google business profile. Make sure your name, address, and phone number match everywhere. At the start, I'd said I'd give you one tip that really matters, and this is it, and it's around search intent. Before you try to rank for anything, Google the keyword, then look at the top 5 results. So, are they blog posts, service pages, guides, or comparison articles? That tells you what Google thinks the searcher wants. So let me give you an example. If you're an accountant and you search accountant, you'll see directories, big firms, generic pages. That's kind of low intent. But if you search how much does an accountant cost for a limited company or small business accountant Manchester, you'll see service pages, pricing pages for local firms. That's high intent. That's someone close to booking. And even with AI and AEO coming, SEO still matters because search engines and AI both rely on clear, structured content to understand what you do. Your job is to create the best version of what's already ranking. So get this right and your SEO starts to work properly. If you find this useful, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be in touch again next week.